If you're in the IT industry, whether you be a front-end specialist, back-end guru, DB admin, full-stack developer, or somewhere in between, you need to decide if you want to be a salaried employee or an hourly contractor. Which is best for you? What are the pros and cons of being an employee versus a contractor? Are you even qualified and ready to be a contractor? How do you determine what is a good contractor hourly rate? All those questions will be answered in this video, as well as looking at the business and personal options to help you decide which one's right for you. First, the basic disqualifiers. Even if you want to be a contractor, it might not be the right thing for you. First question is, do you need health insurance for you and your family? If yes, then you better go the employee route. Of course, there are ways to do health insurance individually, but if you're in the United States, it's a real big hassle. Next question, do you need stability of a fixed income every single month? Again, if yes, then you should go the employee route. When you're a contractor, you'll have good months and bad months, especially at the beginning of being a contractor. Lastly, third question is, how much experience do you have? If you are really new and if you have very little experience as a programmer or software developer, then it's best for you to get a salary and become an employee. You can learn a lot working on a job with a lot of other programmers and having a good quality project manager. So I would recommend get a salary position for a year or two, and then after that, you'll have several options. You can decide to stay at the company and continue getting a salary and maybe climb the corporate ladder, or you could try to job hop from one company to another, because once you have a good salaried position for a year or two at some company that is respectable, other companies will want to hire you. Third option is then you can start picking up contract jobs on the side, and once you feel like you have enough contract jobs on the side, then you can quit your salary job. Salary and temporary staffing. If you're not qualified or not ready to go the contractor route, you still have two options. You can apply for tech jobs at companies, or you can apply to work for a temporary staffing company. I mention this temporary services route because a lot of people forget this option. Working at Kelly Services or Trillium Technical or one of the many other temp services companies can be a great way to start. You are still a W-2 employee, but you get a lot of experience very fast. And it often leads to full-time employment, either from one of the temp service clients wanting to hire you full-time or just general exposure. When I was 30 in between jobs, I worked at Kelly Services. Kelly Services sent me to West Marine to defrag hard drives. While there, I met someone from JDA Software installing point-of-sale software. JDA flew me out to Arizona for an interview. I was at Kelly Services only 2 weeks before JDA hired me, and that became my first big tech salary. So if you do not land a big salary position right away, I recommend working at a temp services company. While working there, you can continue to send out your resume and look for better jobs. Should you be a contractor? Assuming the health insurance and stability of monthly income is not a requirement and that you have the skills and experience, then yes, being a contractor can be fantastic. Contractors can definitely make more money than salaried employees, 2 to 3 times more, and your pay increases faster than salaried employees. More on that later. Plus, once you have several clients, the income is as stable or more so than being an employee for a single client. I know a lot of programmers that were salaried and fired last year during COVID cutbacks. Contractors also generally have a more flexible schedule. As long as you complete projects before deadline, nobody really cares what hours you're working. Most of the times, contractors can work virtual office, which is another big advantage. How much for contractor rates? Here's the basic math. In the United States, most employees get 2 weeks paid vacation per year. Thus, you can divide your salary by 50 weeks you are actually working. So, for example, let's look at a job position that pays $80,000 per year. $80,000 divided by 50 weeks is $1,600 per week. At 40 hours per week, that is $40 per hour. Note, 60,000 divided by 50 weeks is 1,200 weekly, or $30 per hour. The math is really simple once you see the pattern. Take the thousands per year and divide by 2 to determine your hourly rate. If the salary is 70,000, the hourly rate is basically $35 an hour. Of course, if you want to get super accurate, you can also reduce the number of paid holidays that a company generally gives, but this formula gives you a really good base number. Frankly, a couple of dollars per hour difference should not be the deciding factor. Of course, as an employee, you can have several other benefits which are valuable. See my video on negotiating for more details. Benefits can include 401k matching, stock options, health insurance, tuition reimbursement, childcare, etc. These all have value, but if you are earning more from being a contractor, you can purchase most of these directly. Some say contractor rates should be 1.5 times the hourly rate of an employee. For the tech industry, the contractor rate should be double the employee hourly rate. So the math becomes very simple. If the normal salary for a tech employee is $80K, then the hourly rate for a contractor doing the same job is $80 per hour. This is a good general rule. Later I will create a separate video with details on how to determine how much your rate should be compared to other techs in your industry. So, as long as healthcare and stable monthly income are not a requirement, it is generally better to be a contractor because you have more income potential, if you are good at finding contracts. Online websites for contract work. On Upwork.com, Guru.com, and Freelancer.com, the competition is fierce to break in as a contractor. There are a lot of people that are lowballing their consulting rates. When you are first starting, you will have to lower your rate to land your first few jobs. That's okay. Get the job, do good work, get good testimonials. It will take a lot of time and effort to succeed using these sites, but once you have a good track record and reputation on these sites, you can start making very good money. As a contractor, even with higher hourly rates, you will win projects if you have proven yourself. Plus, if you are really at the top of your skill set, you can register on toptal.com. There are other ways to find contracts, of course, which is a topic for a different video. Mention in the comments if there are other websites you recommend for contract work. The formula for financial growth. Here's the basic formula for continued financial growth as a contractor. As a contractor, your end goal is to have 2 to 4 regular clients that hire you for projects. Then you continue to casually look for new clients, but at a higher hourly rate. Over time, your lowest paying clients will drop off and you replace them with higher paying clients. You should not raise your hourly rates with your current clients very often. However, generally, raising your rates once every 3 years is fine, especially if you can say it is because you have learned new skills and technologies. Which you should be learning new skills and technologies every year. Otherwise, you won't stay current. The exact steps of this process. 1. Find clientele. 2. Exceed their expectations on projects you do for them. Build rapport. Talk about their future needs and interests. This should be off the clock chit-chat. Number 3, when you finish the project, ask for a testimonial and if they can send you referrals. Some of my best clients have come from referrals by other clients. Next, continue searching for clientele. If you're already financially stable with current clients, raise your rate for new clients. Next, continue honing your skills and learning new skills. Focus on skills that the past clients showed interest in. Quarterly recontact these past clients and let them know new technologies you have learned that may be of use to them. Once you get to know the client's business better, you can even give them win-win scenarios such as, I am certain I can build this XYZ feature into your platform, which should be able to increase your revenue by at least some number annually. Note, this works for all service and consulting businesses, not just programming. In summary, contractors that have both technical skills and good communication skills will usually end up with more work than they can handle. Then you raise your rates and start telling clients you cannot start on new projects until you finish your current projects. What to do when there is no work? Occasionally you will have a dry spell and there will be no client work. Hopefully during the busy times you saved up some money and you have a financial cushion. So here are the 5 things that you should do when there's no client work. Number 1, take your significant other out and have a great time. Most likely, if you have happy past clients, you're going to get plenty of work within the next week or 2. But meanwhile, remember the reason you're making such good money is so that you can enjoy living. So go out and live a little for a week or 2. Take your significant other out and have a great time. Number 2, work on your portfolio project. I have a whole video about how important portfolio projects are. Number 3, hone your skills. Preferably find some skills that some of your past clients have mentioned they have an interest in and work on those technologies. Even better if you work on those technologies in your portfolio project and then you can showcase those to your client. Number 4, contact your past clients and say, hey, these are some of my skills that you may not be aware of. Maybe they're some of the brand new skills that you just picked up. And let them know you're available right now for handling those projects they've been putting on the back burner. Number 5, look for new clients. Business structures and taxes. In the United States, there are basically 2 types of employment, 1099 and W-2. When you're a 1099 employee, that means you work for yourself. When you're a W-2 employee, you work for someone else. Note, when you are working for temp services like Kelly Services, you are still a W-2 employee. W-2 employers cover much of your tax burden before you get paid, so you may not even be aware of how much they're covering. Taxes are a big expense. If you work for yourself, you have to track and pay all of your own taxes. However, on the upside, when you work for yourself, you also get to declare all your own expenses. That includes internet, portion of your home's electricity, portion of your phone bill, even a percentage of your mortgage or rent based on how much space your home office takes. When you work for yourself, another option is to make a limited liability corporation. This is actually more easy and affordable than you would think. For under $600, you can get the initial setup done on a Nevada-based LLC from a company called Inc. Paradise. I've added their link down in the comments below. They can also incorporate you in all 50 states. I've used them for years, and their customer service is excellent and price is unbeatable. There are a lot of tax advantages to running your own corporation. Then as a contractor, you tell clients you are billing through your corporation and it becomes a corp-to-corp transaction. This makes their accounting easier and makes you look very professional. Accounting options for contractors. First, I have to say I'm not an accountant. This is my disclaimer. The information was given to me in January of 2021 by a CPA whom I trust, but accounting and tax laws change all the time. Verify with your accountant before you do anything. Have you heard of the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion, also known as the FEIE? If you are an American citizen and a programmer, I recommend you leave the country. For 2020, the first $107,600 is non-taxable. That's if you are living outside of the United States and you don't enter the United States for more than 45 days out of a 365-day period, then you don't have to pay taxes on the first $107,600 that you earn. Think about that. In 2021, it's even going to go higher. In fact, about 15 years ago, it was only $80,000. So you can see it's continually increasing. In 2021, it goes to $108,700. Think about that. If you are going to make $100,000 this year and you pay $30,000 in taxes, your take home is only $70,000. There are a lot of countries that you can live very comfortably for under $30,000. So if you leave the country and you're working remote office anyways, a lot of clients don't care. If you leave the country, you're working remote office, you're working virtual office, and by the way, a lot of countries have faster internet than the United States. I lived in Central America, Eastern Europe, Western Europe. They all had faster internet than the United States. So working virtual office overseas, very easy. So you're getting $30,000 free non-taxed income that you can put towards either investments or living expenses and just having a good life. I highly recommend leaving the country. A link with more details on FEIE is listed in the description below. In summary, if you have the experience and the skills, then I recommend being a contractor over a salaried employee. Once you have 2 to 4 regular clients, you will be making much more money, and it's actually more stable than if you're a salaried employee. Plus, your income will increase annually faster as a contractor than it will as a salaried employee, unless you do a lot of job hopping from one company to another. That's my recommendation. And now, if any of this has been helpful, please hit the like button or subscribe for more on the business of programming. And now for the joke of the day. Here's a glass half full of wine. The optimist says the glass is half full. The pessimist says the glass is half empty. The programmer says the glass is twice the size that it needs to be. While those three are talking, the opportunist walks by and drinks the wine. Have a great day. Subscribe for more on the business of programming.